Hello there, my beading friends. This is Christi Friesen for Softlex Company with a new episode of Free Spirit Beading. And I'm going to be live in just a moment. We're going to take apart my demo a little bit. Hi. Hey, Gail. Lovely to see you and everyone tuning in. Welcome. My name is Kristen, and I host a weekly beading tutorial here on the Softlex Company YouTube channel and Facebook page called Free Spirit Beading. And today we have kind of a fun project. Do you see my little demo cam off to the side there? I'm trying a new layout here on our stream, and I'll move myself into that little cam when I start my demo. So you guys will have to let me know if you like the new setup. Hello. Hi from Zach in Michigan. Is that what I'm seeing? Hi, Zach. Hey, Lori. So I didn't see you guys last Monday because of the Great Bead Extravaganza. We had the Great Bead Extravaganza not this past weekend, the weekend before. And so that was a really busy weekend, and I wasn't here on Monday. I'm happy to be back. Hey, Debbie. Lovely to see you. If you guys are joining me, say hello. Hi, Pamela. Oh, thanks, Zach. Zach says, I love your paintings. Awesome. Thank you. I know my wall is getting very full again. It ebbs and flows. You know, I have lots of paintings behind me, and then I don't for a little while, and then they start multiplying again. So I've got a lot of color, a lot of fun spring color behind me. Janine says, I always look forward to your classes. Thanks, Janine. Happy to have you here. It's very sweet of you to say. Hi, Sally. Hi, Amanda. So the Great Bead Extravaganza. I made this little pendant that I'm holding up here in my little side cam along with our pal, Christi Friesen, during the Great Bead Extravaganza. And it's made out of epoxy clay, which is something that Christi sells. And then I used our beads from the Spring Fling Flower Garden bead mix to create this pendant. So I'll give you guys a closer look in just a sec. But this pendant I did during the Great Bead Extravaganza. So I'm not going to do the pendant itself today. If you want to learn how to do that, you have to check out Christi's presentation that you can find in the Great Bead Extravaganza Facebook page, as well as the Great Bead Extravaganza Facebook group. And Christi sells this special clay. It's called, I spelled it wrong, actually. Let's see. It's called Epoxy Sculpt is the name of it. And it's a 2-part epoxy clay that you could pick up from her at her website, and it's really, really fun to play with. I think Christi's project kit, she had a kit she had put together for the event, had sold out. But if you get yourself the epoxy clay and you have some beads lying around, and specifically any Czech glass beads in flowers and leaves, you can create this pendant. And if you don't have any of those around, you can pick up our Spring Fling Spring Fling Flower Garden Czech glass mix over at softflexcompany.com, and you can use that just as I did. Hey, Donna. So I'm unwrapping a little bit here. So while I'm unwrapping, because I have to take apart my demo to show you what to do, right? Let's talk a little bit about what's going on at softflexcompany.com. Right now, we've got 20% off of everything in our crimps and components category. So that means crimp tubes, crimp covers, clasps, connectors, ear wires, jump rings, head pins, eye pins, charms, pendants. All of those things are 20% off. Some of those things are already discounted because they could be an outlet or a closeout item. And in that case, you'll get a double discount. So if you find some stuff that's currently already showing a sale price, go ahead and add that to your cart, and then you'll see an extra 20% off discount on that. We sell, which is really popular, a multi-crimp pack, and it's 2x2 millimeter crimp tubes, which are the most common that we use all the time. And you get them in 4 metal tones, the 4 metal tones that we carry, which are sterling silver, gold-filled, copper, and black, which is black oxidized. So it's actually a sterling silver crimp that's been oxidized to give you that blackened color. So you get the multi-pack. It has a slight discount already just because it's kind of a bundled item, and then you can get the extra 20% off. And those always go really fast during our crimps and finding sales. So check that out. Let's see. Hi, Becky. Oh, the pendant is beautiful. Thank you. I really had a good time playing with Christi on this one. I made one with her during the last Great Bead Extravaganza, the Tucson one, but it was my first time using epoxy sculpt. And so I still like what I created, but it's a little bit big and chunky. And I think I was able to kind of discern a size a little bit better on this particular one. So what we're going to do today is we're going to take this pendant that I made. We're going to add a Hammertone component, and we're going to wrap it. So here's my little demo I'm kind of pulling apart right now, but let's move you in to the big screen. We're going to wrap it and attach these leaves. And then what we're going to do is add the pendant to the bottom of that ring. And then we're going to add some satin cord adjustable and make it adjustable so that you can make it longer or shorter. And we don't sell the satin cord at Softflex Company, but you can find it from our friends over at Kelly's Bead Boutique. You can also check beadshop.com. They probably have something like that. Or you can use a leather or other cording. And I know our friends at the Bead Place do sell some leather and other cords online. So those are a few options of where you can go to shop for some cording. I'm going to use Softflex craft wire in the 22 gauge to wrap, and I've got 2 colors here. I actually thought I had black, but I don't have black right now. So I picked up the silver. It's the non-tarnished silver-plated silver. And then the other one is the pewter color. So you'll see the pewter is much more of like an antique silver color right there. And I haven't decided which one I'm going to use yet. I used the silver-plated silver on this example that you might have saw in the picture before on the video. But I'm kind of thinking, because I use this black epoxy clay, that it might be nice to attach it with the black ring. And so you let me know what you think. And then, but I was kind of bummed out I didn't have any black craft wire. But I think the pewter would be nice. You could go with the bright silver, but the pewter won't be as stark of a contrast. So what do you all think? Should I go with the pewter craft wire and the black hammered ring, or should I stick with the silver ring and the silver wire on my first example? Black is perfect. I know, I like the black ring too. I wish I didn't think about it until after I had wrapped the original design. And then I was like, ooh, I think that would actually really work. Yeah, with the pewter, awesome. And we do sell black craft wire too. So you can also get black craft wire. So these are on sale. These are our Hammertone connector rings. They are made by our friends over at Tiara Cast, and they come in 5 different colors. They've got gold plated, copper, antique brass, the black, and the bright silver, which I think is called white bronze now. They redid their bright silver line, and it's now called white bronze. This is the largest ring size. It's the 25 millimeter size. And then we also have them in this medium size, which I believe is 13 millimeters, and the small, which is around 8 or 8.5 millimeters. And all 3 sizes come in all of those same metal tones. So you can mix and match and play with them. It's always fun when you're doing something like this, when you do like a necklace with the large, and then you can grab the medium or the small and make either a bracelet or earrings to match. So what we're using today is this pendant we made during Christi Friesen's Great Bead Extravaganza Spring Fling 2022 tutorial, her presentation, the Hammertone Ring. I picked out all of the leaves from my Spring Fling Flower Garden Czech glass mix, which is right here. And I just went through. I happened to get a good amount of leaves in mine, but if you didn't get as many leaves as mine did, because they are kind of a random mix, you can also pick out and see if you've got any little flowers that came in there that you might want to add to your ring too. I think I only had one little flower. Let me give you a little sampling of what is in that mix. So you've got all sorts of pretty little beads, all different shapes and sizes in this Spring Fling colorway that matches our Pantone quad, so it has the blue, the white, the bone, and that fluorite color in there. So like I said, I just pulled out all of the leaves. And I only had this one little flower, so I grabbed that too. And all of the beads that I used in here, except for the seed beads, which are the teeny tiny ones, those were added from my stash. But all the other beads that I used in here were from this same Flower Garden Czech glass mix. And then we'll have the silk cord and of course the craft wire. For tools, I'll be using a flush cutter, a pair of nylon jaw pliers to straighten my wire. And then I just have a pair of flat nose and chain nose pliers to help tuck in my wire and to also help with opening and closing jump rings. That's the other thing I have to note. I also have some jump rings. So we're going to use 2 jump rings, one smaller one that I'll attach on the pendant, and then a little bit larger one to attach to the ring here. Okay, I think that's all of our supplies. Let me just unwrap this last little leaf and then we'll get going. Did you all see in the Great Bead Extravaganza, we've got a trend report now, and the trend report for April is Czech glass, leaves, and flowers. So I'm totally on trend with this project. And I think we've got an album that was set up. So if you go in the group, the Great Bead Extravaganza group, and you check out the album, there's an album there with inspiration from all of us presenters. And then I think you can add some of your own pictures too of things that you've made with Czech glass beads, Czech glass, flowers, and leaves to that inspiration. It's brand new for April. We just kind of started it, so I don't know if it's got like that much momentum yet, but we are planning on doing a trendsetter report monthly so that we can kind of highlight some of the things that we're seeing across the board as a collective as some trends, and then share how you can find those items with us, and then you can also share things that you're working on. So stay tuned for that. All right, so let's take this black ring here, and I'm going to grab the pewter, which you can see is well loved and used. I'm using 22 gauge. I think you can even go lower to 24 gauge if you wanted to. And then I just like to straighten out my wire before I take it off the spool. I'm going to cut a nice size. You can always add wire to your ring. I think this is a pretty forgiving design, so it's not that big of a deal if you don't cut enough the first time. I'm going to cut, maybe I'll cut a little bit more than that. I got a foot here. Let me do 16 inches. It's always nice to have a little extra. Hi, Penny. Hi, Deb at Dahlia Designs. Lovely to see you. Happy spring. All right, so let's move these out of the way. And we'll start with our ring. So I'm just gonna give myself a little bit of extra wire here, and I'm gonna use this wire to start my wrapping. I think I'll just do it to the left side. It doesn't really matter which side you wrap it on. Just creating, let's see if we can get around 3 times. To start my wrap. And then I'm just going to use my chain nose pliers to come in and flatten out that little end piece so that it's not sticking up. So that'll be my back side since it ended on that side. So I'm just going to flip it around to the front. And I'm going to go ahead and push it through the ring one more time. And then I'm going to add a leaf. Let's see which one. Maybe I'll start with one of these bone colored leaves, creamy leaves. Sandra said, unfortunately, it's not spring there in Indiana. We got 2 inches of snow today. Oh my goodness. We are warm here. As you guys can see, I'm wearing kind of a tanky dress. I got like kind of overheated a little bit yesterday. We went to my mother-in-law's for Easter, and it was 91, I think, yesterday here in Phoenix, Arizona. So just to show you what I'm doing, I'm just adding my little leaf and then wrapping the wire around the ring and pulling it through. And then I'm going to add a couple more wraps before I pick up another leaf. Oh, Deb says just another rainy, cold April day here, but brighter days are sure to follow. Will follow. Yeah. April showers bring May flowers, right? Oh, it's snowing in Michigan too. Oh, please take my heat. Sandra says, please send the heat this way. Yes, take it. I'd love to. I would love to. Yeah, so I think I got a little overheated on the ride home, because it's about an hour drive, and took a very long nap. after we got back. And I was like, whoa, I'm just not used to being that hot yet. That's what happens here. All right, so I wrapped it around like 3 times, and now I'm gonna add another leaf. When is officially spring? What is today's date? The spring equinox. Did that not happen yet? Is that soon? Why do I feel like that happened already? But maybe it didn't. Is it around the 20th maybe? 21st? 21st, yeah. Deb is saying she thinks it's the 21st. So soon. It's hard when we're, such different climates because like you said, you don't feel like it's spring at all. And I'm like, oh no, summer's coming. I'm starting to feel summer like in the wind, in the wings, waiting. Woo! All right, I'm knocking around my my beads with my long wire here. So one thing to be conscious of, my wire is pretty long that I'm working with. You want to make sure, like you see, I'm kind of knocking things around on my table. I want to make sure you're not getting this anywhere near your face or close to your eyes, or you can wear some glasses or something while you're doing this, because you don't want this long wire to come and give you a little love smack. All right, so I wrapped a few more times and now I'm going to add another leaf, and then you can kind of, I think I'll wait till the end, but what's nice about it is you can kind of play with the position a little bit on the wire, but maybe I'll wait till I wrap some more before I decide how I want them to be. Yeah, I had a feeling. Sandra said spring equinox was March 20th. I do feel like I remember the spring equinox happening, but then I second guessed myself and thought, well, maybe it's April. So yeah, so we are definitely in the swing of spring. Doesn't feel like it a lot of places in the country though yet, huh? Did you all get kind of cold, snowy weather a little later than usual? Or I know that March is pretty typical for snow, but I thought by April it'd be warming up a little bit. So let me show you what I'm doing here. I did 3 between these 2, but I'm actually doing a couple more on this one. I don't know why. It's okay. It's okay to not have them totally evenly spaced out. Maybe I'll pick up this little one. Sandra says it's been a cold April in the Midwest for the most part. Yeah. So you are ready for spring. You're ready to start seeing those little buds, those little sprouts. I feel like my friend Kay today, because this is a very, Kay's very good with wrapping, and I feel like she's always wrapping things, making pretty wrap designs. So now I feel like I've used about half of my wire, and thinking I might put the pendant right about there. Maybe I'll use this small little one on this side too. Kind of anchor anchor the two sides of the pendant. That looks like it'll be cute right about there. Thanks, Deb. I made that with Christi Friesen. We used the epoxy sculpt clay, which I spelt wrong in the description. I'll have to change that. It's APOXIE. You can get it at Christi's website, christifriesen.com. And she just shares how to make the little pendant, and then you go through and make yourself a little mosaic. And I used the beads from the spring flower mix there too with some seed beads. I think it came out really cute. I can see how that process can be really fun and addicting way to make your own little components like this. All right, so now I'm going to go up the other side. I don't think I want to do the exact same way, so I'm going to do I'll do one bone leaf first, and then maybe I'll do the green. Oh, I'm just going to go the other side. So one thing I just want to do is always make sure I'm working, like right now I'm working to the right of my last wrap, because if I cross over, it's not a terrible thing, but it could get a little messy. So I'm just trying to keep it always to the right side as I'm wrapping. You know what? Actually, let's put this little flower here just to change it up for a second. And then I can use another one of these purple ones. What are people saying? Penny is cutting irises and azaleas yesterday to put on the outside cross at church. There's some advantages to living in the South. Yeah, there are some advantages to warm weather at times, right? Before it gets too hot. Sandra will spend less time making jewelry and more time out in her garden. So she's still making lots of jewelry right now. Yeah, I think that's common, right? We change our change kind of the things that we do creatively depending on the season. Let's see. Do I want to do? I don't know if I want to do any more. One more. Since I have a little wire left, let's try one more. I want to leave space for my cording, so this might be cutting it close, but you can kind of inch it probably a little bit too. I'm second guessing this one. I think it might be a little too crowded. I'm going to take that one back off. Thanks, Deb. Deb says you're so creative. Jerry Lynn says, lovely pendant. Thank you. And Penny says, I've been doing cardinage lately and not much jewelry, although I've been using some of my charms on my boxes. I don't know what that is, Penny. You're going to have to explain a little bit more. I think that's one thing that's lovely about beads, though, right? So I'm glad you mentioned it, is that they can move into lots of different crafts. You can make all sorts of crafts that include beads. It doesn't have to be jewelry. It could be a sun catcher. Ooh, this is fun. It could be a little sun catcher that you put outside on your porch or something because you're spending more time out there during the warmer months. And you could make flower sticks. You can make things to go into your plants and stamp what they are if you need a little name. Or so there's just so many ways to take charms and beads or wire. I actually think I'm going to make myself one of those flower crowns, you know, that go around your head with fresh flowers. And I'll be using some of my Softlex craft wire to do that. So all of these things kind of breed new ideas in different ways. Okay, I think I'm going to add the silk first, and then we'll add our little pendant here. So let me put that off to the side. So I've got a long strand of green silk cord. Let me measure it for you. Let's see what I'm working with. I probably have a lot here. 46 inches. 46 inches is what I'm working with right now. And that will give me, I want to make this necklace adjustable so that I can wear it really long or I can wear it shorter. So we'll just work with this amount of length and I can always cut it down. And what you're going to do is fold it in half so that you've got the looped end on one side and then the two other ends on the other side. And I can never remember which way is the front. So let me just do, yeah, okay. So I want this to be the front of my pendant. So I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to place the looped end through the center. And then I'm going to grab a hold of those two other strands and just pull it through the loop. And then that's the back, and that's the front. Really super easy. You can even create another knot if you want to there. You can add a bead if you want to. I was gonna try, I don't know if it's gonna get on this cord easily or not. I don't have any glue, which sometimes is helpful. I was gonna try and see if I can add this. So let's test it. I'm going to cut my, I'm calling it silk cord, but I think it's actually satin. And you know what? I probably should get a scissor. Might be easier. Okay, let's see. I'm going to cut it on an angle. Probably not sharp. I want it on like a really sharp angle. To see if I can get it through. Oh gosh, can I do it? I got one. I was hoping to get two strands through. That might be pushing it. Let's see. So what I'm trying to do is cut this on a steep angle to create a little point. Yeah, this might be pushing it, trying to get two in there. Let me see what it looks like with one. If I put one on each side. No, I don't like it as much. Let me grab. I mean, you don't need it. You don't need an extra bead there. But sometimes you want to try it, right? Oh, Becky says it looks like satin rat tail cord. I think that is what it is. It was gifted to me and it came just in a little baggie. And it doesn't really say what is on it. So I wasn't 100% sure. But you can use something that's got a little bit bigger of a hole if you wanted to create. I think these are a little bit too big, I think. They take away. All right, I'll leave it without. I'll leave it without for now. All right, and then on the other end, I want to create an adjustable knot. So I don't work with this kind of material that often, but I've done it a couple of times. Margaret says, that sounds fun. A fairy crown. You deserve a crown, right? Doesn't that sound fun? So there's all sorts of different ways you can use your beading materials. And Penny is sharing what she was talking about, her fabric and chipboard made into boxes. Our latest club class was making a cigar box. I used the charms to easy way to open it. Oh, that's really neat. So that it can lift open really nicely. And Becky is trying to make some clay pendants to go with her beads. Christi and Susan of Turtle Soup Beads on YouTube had gotten her wanting to do that. Fun. I love being crafty. Okay, so we've got our two ends of our wire. Let me make sure I'm in camera here. Got our two ends of our wire. And we want to create two knots, one on each side, so that this can slide open and close. So I'm going to start with doing a knot on this side. I'm going to leave myself a little bit of tail, and I'm going to cross this cord on the right over the cord on the left. I'm going to wrap it around my finger once, twice. I got to give myself a good amount of tail to wrap it around my finger twice. And I just do it around my finger so it kind of holds that loop open nicely for me. So you're going to wrap it around twice, and then you're going to take this and you're going to put it through and out. So I'm just going to pop that off my finger, take this through and out, and I should be able, hopefully I did that right. I should be able to pull that to create my knot. Yeah, okay. So this is the one that I wasn't knotting, so that one still can move freely, and this is the one I did knot. And now I want to do the same thing. Let me see here. In the other direction. So on this case, I would want this piece to stay straight, and I want this piece to cross over. Why does that not look right to me though? Something feels off. Let me just try it. Let me start again. Could be the direction I did it. I watched a lovely video today to refresh my memory, and I got it just fine. So now I'm trying to to redo it here. Maybe I need to give myself a little bit longer of some tails to cross over to, just so that I've got a lot more space. All right, I'm going to start with this side. I'm going to cross my right over my left and wrap it around my finger twice. And then you want to tuck this in through that loop. Just like so, which is what I think I did on the other side. Okay, and then we have this piece here that is moving nice and freely. And then we have this piece, and we're going to do the same thing on this right side. So the piece that is stationary, that's not moving, will be my bottom piece, and the one that is moving will be the one I wrap around my finger. And I'm just going to wrap it around. Again, I got to give myself a little bit more tail to get it around my finger. Wrap it around my finger twice, and then tuck it through in here. Okay, we did it. I don't know if I was the clearest, but we did it. And now what you can do is you can pull these two sides to make this smaller, or you can lift the knot back out to make it larger. So yes, I did make a sliding knot. I probably, like I said, I don't work with this material that often, so I might not have been as clear as some other videos you would find on YouTube, but we did get it. And then you can go and trim these edges on a little angle if you want, or just trim them just so they're about the same size and length. And you're all set on that part. And then we're going to add our pendant to the front with some jump rings. Yes, this is true, Penny. Penny says it can get expensive to have so many crafty interests, but you're now retired and you have time to think. Actually, more sleep deprived now than when you were working, as you lose track of time and oops, it's 3 a.m. Oh my gosh. Who can relate to that? Can anyone here relate to that? I know I can. I know I definitely have had projects that I jokingly say they're calling me, like I can't rest until they're done. They're calling me back. They are calling me back to be finished. Oh, Jerry Lynn said, are you trying to make a sliding knot? I didn't know you could make it without another short piece of cord. Yeah, I didn't have a short piece of cord. I just combined the two. So maybe that is a different technique, adding the little short piece of cord to each side. So there's probably multiple ways to do it. You're welcome, Janelda, for the knotting lesson. I hope it was clear enough to understand. Oh yeah, forgetting to eat, that's a big one. Yep, Susie's right with us on that, totally. I know I have a friend who always has snacks in her studio. I'm just gonna use a flat nose and a chain nose to open up a pretty large jump ring. So that one's gonna get added here. And she's cracking me up because she said she always has snacks when she's working in her studio. And I was like, that's really funny because I'm like the opposite. I never have snacks and I totally forget to eat. I forget to go to the restroom. Like I just am like, I think to myself, 5 more minutes, right? I'm almost done. We know it's never 5 more minutes. And then I'm going to use a little smaller. And the reason I had to do this is because on my pendant, I made the little loop north to south instead of east to west. So I actually have to put 2 jump rings on just so that it lays the correct way. If I had done it the other way, then I would only need 1 jump ring, but I didn't know how I was going to apply it at the time I was making it. So I just did it north to south. So there we've got it. Got a cute, and this is the part too where after you've got everything in place here, you can kind of play with your leaves and see if there's any other way you want to adjust them. You don't want to pull too hard. You don't want to snap your wire. If you do snap it, you can probably get it back on there with another little piece of wire. It's not the end of the world, but because it is craft wire, too much moving back and forth could possibly snap it. But I think that came out pretty cute. Janelle says, I do the restroom dance when I finally get up to go. Yeah, totally. I'm usually like, oh my gosh, and then you're running. Like you're just running to the restroom. Sandra says, such pretty colors together. Thanks, Sandra. Yeah, I think being able to do this fun little wrapped loop helped to bring some of those colors from the pendant up here, and then just gave it a little extra flair, a little extra fun. I want to try and see if I can get it on me to show you what it looks like. So this is it kind of long, which you probably can't see on camera. So I'm going to just adjust my sliding knots and move them closer to the pendant. And there you go. Very cute. I think I'm going to probably love wearing it long most of the time, just because I really like when I've got long pendants like this. But the sliding knot makes it so that you can change all of your, you can change the heights, and depending on what other jewelry you're wearing, you've got some other things going on up here, you can make it long. Or if it's the only thing you're wearing and you have this kind of cut neck, it looks great really short. Thanks everybody for joining me today. I did, Janelda, if you missed it in the beginning, I made the pendant with Christi Friesen during her presentation at the Great Bead Extravaganza. I used her epoxy sculpt, and I used our Softlex company mix right here, the Spring Fling Flower Garden Czech glass bead mix, and that's what I made the little mosaic with for the pendant. So really fun project. Go check it out if you haven't seen it yet over in the Great Bead Extravaganza. It's there on replay. You can find it on the page as well as in the group. And what else? What am I missing? Oh, Sandra says, I would love to see you make some lariat necklaces sometime if you have time. Yeah, I've only done a couple lariats, but Sarah has done quite a few, Sarah Ayler. So if you check out the Softlex Company YouTube channel, and you might be able to just search lariat and hopefully some things would come up, because I know she's done quite a bit of those already. But I'll keep it in mind in the future to do a lariat style for you, Sandra. Thanks, everybody. Oh, Janelle just got her kit in the mail from her. You might be one of the last few, because I looked at her website this morning and it was totally sold out. So you'll have to go check out the presentation and make along with her. And you're one of the lucky ones that got a kit. Becky, you missed the GBE this year. Well, it's always there for you. Great Bead Extravaganza is all, available on replay. So you can still check out all of the presentations. We may be sold out of the kits and some of the other things, but all of the tutorials are still there and wonderful to watch. And you can probably get bits and pieces and kind of make them your own from your own stash of stuff too, right? Thanks, Gloria. Gloria likes this length. Thanks, everybody. Oh, what a beautiful day it's been spending time with you. I hope that many of you get to see spring coming soon. And if I can send you all of my warm weather, I would. Because I would sure like some of your cooler weather at times. But I'll be here again next Monday with a new episode of Free Spirit Beading. And until then, happy beading, happy crafting, and stay warm out there, okay? All right, lots of love. Bye. Oh, before I go, I would be remiss to repeat that we have 20% off on our findings and our crimps, so close, over at saltflexcompany.com. Good until tomorrow, April 19th. And then we also have a new live sale. So tomorrow you'll catch us live over on the Softflex Company Facebook page with a new live bead sale. And that'll be at noon Pacific time is when that goes live. And then it'll be open until Thursday for you to shop. We do those live sales about every 3 weeks. They're really a lot of fun. You can get one-of-a-kind items, lots of unique beads, gemstones, lab work, all sorts of good stuff. So there's your reminder that our next one is happening tomorrow, April 19th, 2022 at 12 p.m. Pacific time. All right. Yeah, Sandra says she loves the live sales. I do too. I end up shopping. I always try. I'm like, I can't watch today. And then I just can't resist. And I end up shopping also. Janelle does. Oh, that's funny. Money flying out of the pocketbook tomorrow. It is hard to resist. I know it. It gets me too every time. I'm like, I've gotten a little bit, well, no, I won't say that. Last time I bought quite a few things. Sometimes I'm better than other times. Just depends. All right, I'll see you guys over on the live sale tomorrow. And then I'll see you back here on Monday for a new episode of Free Spirit Beading at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for joining me. Bye.